Hi, welcome to Peyton Zoo. My name's Jo and I'm about to take you on a mini discovery. Peyton Zoo is a great place to get outside and explore the natural world. I'm here to help you do that with some simple activities that you can do at home or even on your next visit to the zoo. And along the way we'll discover some more about our fantastic animals and plants. In today's mini discovery we are going on a poo hunt. We're going to be finding the biggest, the smelliest and the rarest poos. We're going to find out what an animal's poo can tell us about them, and we're going to do a simple no-bake cookie activity for you to do at home as well. For our session today you're going to need an adult to help you make the cookies, as it does involve using a hot saucepan, and the most important thing is I'm not going to be touching any of the poo that we find on our hunt today, and it's important that you don't as well if you go out and about and have a hunt of your own. We've got over 3,000 animals here at Peyton Zoo, and every single one of them poos, from the teeny tiniest ant to our tallest giraffe. So first of all, what is poo? Quite simply, poo is all the bits that your body doesn't need from the food that you've eaten. So you eat all the food, goes through your body takes out all the bits that you need to grow and to get energy, and everything else comes out the other end as poo. We've got an amazing team of keepers here at the zoo whose job it is to clean up all of that poo. We asked them which of their animals had the best poo to find on our hunt, and we're going to start with the biggest poo. Who do you think that is? Reckon you know the answer? Let's go and see. Right, so our biggest poo belongs to our heaviest animal here at the zoo. Do you know who that is? That's right, it's our black rhino. So now black rhinos are what we call browsers. That means they eat things like branches and leaves and bushes, and that's what we feed them here at the zoo. We feed them lots of big branches, as well as something called lucerne, which is like hay, and some pellet as well. Now, as well as having the biggest poo at the zoo, they are also the neatest pooers, because right here, this is all the poo from our female rhino, Sita. She poos in one big pile called a midden. So that makes it really, really easy for our keepers to clean up in the morning. Just one pile, scoop it up and straight into the trailer every morning. But they do make a bit of a mess inside with all of that food, so there's still plenty for our keepers to do to clean up after them. Right, so rhinos have the prize for the neatest. Let's go and find out who has the prize for being the messiest. So the prize for our messiest animal has to go to our group of baboons. So a group of baboons is called a troop, and here at Peyton Zoo we've got a troop of 55 baboons. So it takes our keepers about 2 hours to clean everywhere in the morning, and then they produce 2 massive sacks of poo every single day. So baboons are omnivores. Now omnivores means that they will eat meat and they will eat fruit and vegetables and things like that. So here at the zoo we feed them 2 massive crates full of veg, as well as 2 big buckets of pellet as well. So there's a lot of food going into the enclosure, that's a lot of poo that needs to come out of the enclosure as well. So if our baboons produce the most poo, I wonder who produces the least. So this is Lyra. She's our reticulated python. Now she is definitely the animal that poos the least. So when snakes eat, they eat one really big meal and then they'll just sit there and let that digest. So Lyra here only gets fed by our keepers once or twice a month, and she only poos that often as well. So only one poo every month. That's not very often, is it? Now the other thing is that when she does poo, it's pretty big. So we're talking a poo about 30 centimetres. So that's about the size of a ruler. So if you've got a ruler lying around your house, have a look how big that is. So that is a pretty rare poo. So now let's go and find out if there's another animal that has a very rare poo. So the rarest poo in the zoo belongs to probably our rarest animal, the Socorro Dove. So the Socorro Dove is actually extinct in the wild. That means there's none of them left in the wild at all, and the only place you're going to be able to see this bird and this poo is here in the zoo. So I've got a tiny bit of their poo with me here. Now bird poo is a little bit different to the other poo that we've seen today. When you see bird poo around and about, most of it looks pretty white with the odd bit of dark, and that's because birds wee and poo at the same time. So the white bit that you see, that's the wee, and the darker bit is the poo. So that's our rarest poo. Let's see if we can find a really surprising poo. So the winner of the most surprising poo is an animal you might have thought of when we were thinking about the biggest poo on our hunt. It is our fabulous giraffe. So behind me here we have got Tilly. Now giraffe poo is actually surprisingly small. So I've got some giraffe poo here. Don't worry, I'm wearing a glove. I know I said don't touch the poo, but I've got a glove on. So this is giraffe poo here, and in this hand I've got a couple of Maltesers. And you can see they're actually very similar in size. Now the reason giraffes have such small poo is because of where they live in the wild. So giraffes come from the savannah, and the savannah is a very, very dry habitat. So their tiny poo is a way of saving water. I think the time has come to find our smelliest poo. Who do you think it is? Let's go and see. These giant animals here produce some seriously smelly poo. So these are our giant tortoises. Now giant tortoises mainly eat grass, or if they're inside like they are at the moment because it's cold outside, they're going to be eating lots of hay as well. And you can see that in their poo. So I've got poo just down here next to me here, and you can see that it's all covered in hay down here. So big animal equals big poo. I mean, this one down here, look, you can see, it's about the size of my hand. That's massive. So these guys are our smelliest, but I'm wondering, can poo actually be useful? Let's go and find that out next. So poo can actually be surprisingly useful, and our cassowary here are a great example of that. So cassowaries live in the rainforest of Australia and the nearby islands, and they eat loads and loads of fruit. And the seeds from that fruit go straight through the cassowary and out the other end. And so as they're walking along and pooing, they're leaving those seeds in a big, big pile of fertiliser. So fertiliser is the stuff that helps those seeds to grow. So I've got some cassowary poo with me here today. Now this one's a bit purple because they actually had beetroot to eat yesterday. So it does change what the poo looks like. But you can see in this one here, there's a few whole bits of food left. So that's where the food's gone straight through the cassowary and out the other end. And that's exactly what would happen to the seeds. There are other animals here at the zoo that would do that out in the wild as well. Things like our orangutans or our Maine wolves would do exactly the same. So poo can tell us quite a lot about an animal. So let's head into the classroom now and find out a bit more about that. So as we saw with the cassowary poo, animal poo can actually tell us quite a lot about an animal. So here at the zoo, our vet team use the animal's poo quite a lot, and they check it to see if the animal's healthy. Now the other thing that we saw with the cassowary is that you can use the poo to see what an animal has been eating. So I've got some poo in front of me here. Now don't worry, it's not real poo. These are poo cookies. And this is our activity this week, so you can have a go at making these at home. Really easy, doesn't involve any baking at all. All you need to do is boil cocoa powder, sugar, milk and butter in a pan. Give that a good boil, and then you just need to mix in, you can mix a bit of peanut butter and then lots and lots of oats as well. That's what sticks it all together. If you can't eat peanut butter, don't worry, you can leave that out. And if you are dairy free as well, you can use a milk alternative, so you can still have a go even if you can't eat any of those things. Once you've got your base for your different poos, this is where the fun part comes in. Because what I've done with these is I've mixed loads of different things into it to make it look like different kinds of poo. So if we start with this one over here, this one's like our cassowary poo. So you can see in here we've got different kinds of seeds and nuts and fruits, and I put a bit of puffed cereal into that as well. So this one would be what we call a herbivore. So a herbivore is an animal that only eats things like plants or vegetables or fruits or seeds. So this is what you might expect from a herbivore. The other one you might expect is this one over here. So this one is kind of similar to the giant tortoise poo that we saw earlier. So you can see I've used desiccated coconut for this one, but you can see all the little bits in it. It's a bit like bits of grass. Now you'd end up with something quite different if you were to look at a carnivore. So a carnivore is an animal that eats meat. This is my carnivore poo over here. So this one looks a bit like a fox poo. And if you found one of those in your garden, you'd be able to see things like fur and bones. And so I've actually used Reticulated and chia seeds for this one. So you can see little bits and flecks inside of it. Now, I wouldn't be able to do a poo video without mentioning the most weird poo in the entire animal kingdom. And that is this one at the front here. Now you might be thinking, but that's squares of poo. And that's exactly what it is. The wombat, an animal that lives over in Australia, actually has cube-shaped poo. No one really knows why. They think it might be because they live in a dry area. So just like the giraffe that we saw earlier, that has the little dry poo, exactly the same for the wombats, but for some reason, theirs comes out cube-shaped. So you can just use your imagination with your poo. Have a raid in your cupboards, see what different things you've got, chuck whatever you like in there and make all kinds of shapes and have a bit of fun with it as you go along. So I hope you enjoyed joining me on my poo hunt today, and I hope you enjoy having a go at making our poo cookies over the weekend as well. Join me next time, which is going to be on the Easter weekend, so obviously what else could it be? We're going to be learning a bit more about eggs, so I'll see you then.